I'm Peter Purves.
And I'm Jane Morrowby.
And today we've got 3 more young riders competing with an opportunity to take part in our B-Class final.
That's true, Peter, but one of our riders today, Jonathan Walker, is only 11 years old and he normally competes in C-Class, so today he's riding 1 class up. Quite a challenge.
It is, but I'm sure he'll be up for it. Let's take a look at the rules.
Well, the rules couldn't be simpler. Each of the 3 competitors has to complete the course twice, once going one way and once going the other way. The course is made up of 4 sections, each of which must be completed. So, how does the point scoring system work? 1 point putting your foot down once while in a section, 2 points putting your feet down twice while in a section, and 3 points, you've guessed it, putting your foot down 3 times while in a section. 5 points putting your feet down more than 3 times while in a section. And if any of their riders fall off their bikes while in a section, that's a maximum of 5 points for that section. During the 5-second hold, the judges must be happy that the bike remains stationary and the rider is in full control. The judges will sound a horn once for the beginning of the 5-second hold and twice for the end. If the 5-second hold is not completed, 5 penalty points will be awarded. The competitor with the least points will be awarded the winner at the end of the show. And in the event of a tie, the rider with the quickest time will be the winner!
First competing today for the chance of winning the coveted Men and Motors trophy is Richard Ellwood. Richard is 14, he's from Cumbria, he's riding a Team Wren Scorper 250, he's been trials riding for 5 years. Start your engine, good luck on the course, over to Jane.
You ready? Best of luck, mate. Go.
Riding a Scorper 250cc's, and we know it's a new bike. Oh dear, foot down now. So that's 1. Oh, and that's a fail. That's a complete fail, both feet down. So that's 5 points. He's got to get out of this section as quickly as he can. This is the section that's caused all the trouble. Go straight out, Richard, you failed it. Just give him a bit of advice there because I think he was going to try and do the balance, but it was pointless at that time. Very unlucky. So after that very disappointing ride on the stones, now he comes to the logs. Now these can be problematic as well. He's just about got into position there. Could have done with being a little bit further forward, but he's balanced nicely. Now he's got to go. Now he's got to keep those toes off. He's keeping his toes off. He's fine so far, but he's really got to rock this in. That's good. That's good. And he's cleaned it. Very good ride. He looks up to Japanese trials rider Tangasina Fujinami. And I don't know if there's anything particularly Japanese about this style of riding, but as he kicks the bike around there, he is cleaning this section. Can he keep it together? He'll be pleased with this after that bad start. He's a member of a whole host of motorcycle clubs. He's only been riding or trialling for 5 years, but he says trialling in all extreme sports, those are his main interests. All right, can he balance on the top? He can't. It's dabbed, 1 foot down, second balance, so he's got 1 penalty on there. He'll be disappointed with that. Just didn't get up into the top position clean. Now he can move off. Just the 1 penalty. Carefully down into the final section. Now, it does seem the secret of this section is to ride it at speed rather than slowly, but that's fine. He's managed that well. Nicely kicking off. He'll be pleased with that. Cleaning the last section there. Very nice ride by Richard, but a bit of problems at the front. So what's the total, Jane?
It's 6 penalty points altogether.
Yeah, he was unlucky, wasn't he?
Very unlucky, yeah.
Oh well, you live and you learn. Let's have a look at where he went wrong. Richard didn't get off to a great start, failing the first obstacle, but he seemed to find his rhythm after that, picking up just 1 more penalty on section 3.
In practice, you guys won't have seen this, but you had a little knock, didn't you, with your clutch as well?
Yeah, at the start, yeah, I was practicing on the rock and fell off and clutch smacked onto this rock and then all the seals inside like got jammed. So I had to take it down right down to the frame.
They were frantically working on the bike before we started filming, weren't you?
Yeah.
So the bike's all right now. Obviously, you've just done your first run. Everything's working fine?
Yeah.
And you ready for your second run? What's your views on the second run?
Might be a little bit easier, because going backwards might feel a bit easier.
OK, well, best of luck for the second run. That was our first rider. Let's see who's up next.
Next up, 11-year-old Jonathan Walker from Keswick in Cumbria, the youngest in today's trials. Jonathan rides an MRS Sherco 125. Can his 7 years riding experience help him beat off the competition?
Over to Jane.
OK, Jonathan, you ready? Good luck.
Well, Jonathan comes from Keswick in Cumbria. As I've said, he's got a dab there. Now, oh, just got his foot up, so that's a second dab. He's got 2. And that's 3. He's doing this very cautiously. I don't think he trusts himself up there. He can't afford any more, otherwise that'll be a fail. Hasn't failed yet, but it is taking him time. He was the D-class British champion in 1999 and 2000. He's not going to get it into there because the front wheel's going to go off when he gets the front wheel off. I can see this being a fail in a minute. He's not in the balance point. He really is trying. That's a final one. He's out. That's a fail. I really feel sorry for him. It's a tough thing for him here. And what really is a C-class rider, they really concentrate more on tight turns and balance rather than the difficult obstacles and hopping around. Oh, he's held it. That was good. That was very good. So he's in a good position. 5 seconds to hold there. Can he clean this? Kicking it forward. He's done it. He's clean. He'll be very pleased with that because that's caused a fair bit of problems on the top of the logs. Now, how's he going to ride around here? It's fairly tight. This is where his experience really will come in. But he's obviously seen in the future as being a rider of great promise. And he's doing exceptionally well here. Oh, he's got 1 there. That's awkward. So just 1 in that section. He's known as the wee man by all his friends. Well, he is a little lad, actually. And this is a big obstacle. Not too difficult, but it is high. Your head's something like 12 feet above the ground when you stop there for the balance, and he's held that beautifully. Oh, that was really nice. He also gets involved in fell running. And believe it or not, he rides a unicycle and he can juggle at the same time. Multi-talented. Well done, Jonathan. Jonathan's slower than Richard, who went first. He's going slowly over these. I think actually speed is the way to get through. Certainly this bit. You don't want to drop a wheel into that. Ooh, but he's nicely through. He's made it. Well done, Jonathan. Excellent stuff. That was good. I mean, he started off with a real problem, but he picked up tremendous confidence.
I'm quite impressed, actually. The little wee man got 6 penalty points in total.
Which, of course, is the same as Richard got, but he was much slower. Let's have a look back.
Once again, the first obstacle proved tricky, and Jonathan failed it, picking up 5 penalty points. He put a foot down on the second, but cleared the other 2 well, giving him a total of 6 penalty points after his first run.
What about the logs? Because that was a spectacular move. Have your leg waving about in the air.
Well, I lost my balance when I went up, and I just needed to stick my foot out to...
But you're lucky it didn't get a penalty point for that, though.
Yeah.
And finally, the last dab you got was trying to negotiate the bike round the long log on the floor.
I didn't get it turned in time, and I was off the... I didn't get my front wheel onto the log, so I had to put my foot down and flip it round.
Looking forward to the second run?
Yep.
Yep. Well, very best of luck for that second run. Let's meet our very last rider.
The last rider of the day competing for the coveted Men and Motors Trophy and other prizes is 13-year-old Daniel Knights from Suffolk. Daniel's riding a Gas 200 Pro and one day hopes to be a World Championship rider.
Start your engine, over the Jane to start you off. So Daniel Knights, I know he doesn't like the look of this first obstacle. He's taken a dab. I think that's quite deliberate, but he must only take the one. If he has both feet down at the same time, it's a fail, and he has. He's failed that. That's a 5-second or a 5 penalty. So he's got to get out of the section as quickly as he can. Very unfortunate there. It is a really difficult obstacle. Most of the riders have looked at that and said, this course is easy. They've all had difficulty on the stones. He's already had a maximum of 5, so he can't get any more. He's out of the section. Now what's he going to do here? Oh, no, foot down, and he's not got the sump in position. So he's got one against him. Now he's back. There goes the hooter. So he's balanced well. He's actually in a very good position to move off, but it cost him time getting up there. Nicely away. So just the one. I think nerves come into play with these youngsters quite a lot when they start these courses. They look at it, their skill, they've had a practice, their skills are really put to the test, but they think, oh, I can manage this. But then nerves come in and they make mistakes. Oops, and another one there. 2 on the section. Daniel's got a number of hobbies, including motorcycle trials. He likes fishing and swimming. There's a very nice swimming pool in Leiston, where he comes from. Maybe he likes swimming in the sea, I don't know. Oh, he's got one there. You have to be right on the point there to get the balance right. He's got it perfectly now, but it took him a little bit of effort to get in, and of course he got a fault. Kicks off, and that's clear on the way down. So it looks like just the one on the section. Daniel looks up naturally enough to Dougie Lampkin, the star of the famous junior kickstart, but of course currently the World Outdoor Trials champion. That's a good person to look up to, and he's acquitted himself pretty well as he comes to the finish. Not a lot of pace on that finish there from Daniel, and quite a few problems he suffered on the course. Total, Janie?
Total of 8 penalty points altogether.
Yeah, that one on the tyres, he was a bit unfortunate with that.
It was. He had 3 dabs throughout the course and then the total failure at the beginning, so I think that might have set the precedent for the rest of the course for him.
Nerves, I think. Let's take a look back at the highlights.
Daniel started well this time, clearing the first 2 obstacles perfectly. It was the rocks that proved the problem again. Daniel failing the obstacle for the 2nd time today.
Well, after the break, we're going to see if Daniel can improve on the second run. But before that, we'll take a look at the current leaderboard and see what they've got to aim for.
And after the first run, Richard is just out in front. He'll have to improve on his second run to keep his position though.
Hello and welcome back to Teen Trials Part 2. Now, we're all set for our second run, and Daniel is up first because he had the highest number of penalty points in the first run.
Which isn't really surprising, you know. This course is very much more difficult than I think any of the lads anticipated. I think that's right, isn't it, Daniel? It's a bit tougher than you thought.
Yeah, it didn't look very hard, but it's quite tricky.
Now, I saw you practising for the second run. We allow you 10 minutes on the course there. You had a bit of difficulty there. You hurt yourself. You came off on the stones.
Yeah, I hit my leg on the rock.
It's okay, though, now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, very best of luck. Start your engine. Jane's your starter.
Okay, Daniel, best of luck.
13-year-old Daniel Knights with it all to go for here. Now, these tyres really haven't caused much of a problem to anyone. I suspect in the wet they could get very slippery, but it's nice and dry today. Young Daniel here has aspirations to be a World Championship rider. He's wobbling around a bit on the far side, but I said, oh, there's one dab. Oh, just out of my sight, I'm told he had a dab on the other side coming up where he was wobbling there. I didn't see the foot go down, but 2 faults, the judges say. Daniel is a member of the Norfolk and Suffolk Junior Motorcycle Club. And this is a slightly more aggressive sport than his other favourite, which is fishing. Though, actually, trials is not an aggressive sport. It's you've got to attack the obstacles. He had a touch, I think, on the far side. Just need that confirming with the judges, but I reckon he had a toe down just. He was unlucky if he did. But I think that's one penalty. Judges have given him clear on the logs. So now, what can he do on these rocks? He had trouble just practicing. One there. And that's where he had the difficulty, and another one there on the stepping stone. So that's two. He's only got one more before there's a failure on these. I think he's just nervous of this, and he's down there. That's three. Yes. The next one will be a full 5. Just got to get himself up there. It's getting the confidence to get on. He's sure he's going to go over the front. It's close. Can he get up there? And now he knows he's only got one now. Can he hold that? It looks like, no, he can't. That's a fail. So he's out and out of the section and straight through at the end. Well, Janie, that was a little unfortunate, wasn't it, there at the end? The same section did him again.
I really thought he was going to get up there and manage to hold it. It was such a shame.
It was. 5 there at the end. What's the total for the run?
7 altogether.
7 for the lot. Let's have a look back at the highlights.
Daniel started well this time, clearing the first 2 obstacles perfectly. It was the rocks that proved the problem again. Daniel failing the obstacle for the second time today.
Hey Richard, you ready? Good luck.
So Jonathan sets off there. 11 years old. I find this quite remarkable. It comes from Keswick in Cumbria. One of the most beautiful parts of Great Britain, the Lake District. Riding a Sherco 125. It's a bit underpowered compared with the other bikes. Oh, and he stalled it on the top. He's got 1. And he's now got 2. There goes the hooter. Now he's balanced. Just 2 penalties. And he's away. He was unlucky with that. Stalling the bike cost him an extra penalty. He already had 1 dab, but that's okay. It's hard to believe these lads, 4 years old he started riding. He's been riding 7 years and he's only 11. He's really got it all to do, poor lad, riding against more senior riders, but he's doing extraordinarily well. He's got great control, and of course his reputation is fantastic. Oh, he didn't touch. It looked as though he was going to touch, but he didn't. If he can keep clear here, he does. He's a lucky lad, but he's clear. So he's just got the last section to do, these stones. Things that have caused all the problems. Can he clean it? No, he can't. That's 1. Just getting his balance on the top. He reckons it's easier this way. How much easier? Oh, there's a wobbly stone there as well, which I hadn't noticed before, and there's another down. So he's got 2 and 3. He's only got 1 more. Can he do it? No, he can't. He's failed the section, so he's got to get through as quickly as he can. And he does. He's away. Well done, Jonathan, but that's a 5 on that final one. He was unlucky again. The stones got him. Quite a total, but not too huge.
Well, it was a real shame on that last section. He got 5 on the last section and 2 before, so that's 7.
Just 7. Well done. Let's have a look back. A few talking points there, I think.
Jonathan cleared the tyres without a hitch there, and the rocks just proved that little bit too difficult.
So our farmer's lad from Broughton-in-Furness. Actually, from Keswick, I beg your pardon. Keswick in Cumbria. Now this is the obstacle that he claims to have difficulty with. Can he do it right this time? Looks like he can. Oh, he's sliding back. 1 foot down, so he's out of balance. He's got to get balanced again. So he's got 1 penalty and a bit of time there. Oh, and another one. He's lost it again. And in fact, he got a bad signal there, but he's gone with it, and we'll have to stick with it. So into the log section now. Little advantage there by the judges giving a wrong signal for him. He hadn't actually got into his balance for the full 5 seconds. But that wasn't his fault. There'll be no penalty. We'll just have to penalise the judges. But now the logs and the difficult part of the logs, but that's perfect. That's just the best position he could be in. Could not be better. 5 seconds stuck there and then on. So he should clean this. Just rolls it off. That was brilliant. So Richard really needs to be a bit careful here, because if it takes time or he gets penalties, he could be struggling to beat young Jonathan. But he's going well here now. Can he do this? This is the correct technique. Jumps it round, gets the back there, then he can get still. And he's balanced, he's not moving forward. It's difficult, but he's managing it. And he's away, he's done it, he's cleaned it.
Richard certainly upped his game during that second run, completed the course in 1 minute 54 seconds, picking up just 2 penalty points. So his overall score, 4 minutes 13 seconds with 8 penalties.
Well, we know the youngsters have enjoyed themselves. We've enjoyed it. We hope you have. We'll be back with more teen trials next week. In the meantime, we'll just leave you with the highlights of today's action. Goodbye.
You guys are so cool.